Hi, I'm Duff Anderson.
I'm Douglas Lobel. Welcome to Turn Up the Silence, Concordia's student voice for a sustainable future.
Hopefully our show will help you become more involved and familiar with the environment you live in.
On our show, you will see some of the damage being done to our environment, what is being done to save our environment, and how you can participate in the fight for a more sustainable lifestyle.
Our show focuses mainly on the concept of sustainable development and the major issues that fall under this idea.
Such issues as overpopulation,
water pollution,
air pollution,
energy use,
land management issues,
nuclear energy,
international relations,
and recycling and waste management.
The two key words in this concept are environment and economy. We must learn to live within our global means. In other words, we must balance our needs and wants with what we have. We must ensure that the resources of the planet are distributed equally at a rate that the environment can sustain, without totally exhausting these resources.
A good example of this can be seen here in Canada with the depletion of the eastern fish stocks. Sustainable development seeks to meet the needs and aspirations of the present without compromising the ability to meet those of the future. An increase in economic growth brings with it a risk of an increase in environmental damage. Thus, you can see that sustainable development is really a compromise between the economy and the environment on a global scale. Sustainable development requires that the adverse impacts on the quality of air, water, and other natural elements are minimized in order to sustain the ecosystem's overall integrity.
The ecosystem is the relationship of the living organism to its external environment.
There are 4 laws of ecology, better known as Commoner's 4 laws. They are:
everything is connected to everything else. For example, some of the pollution that enters the air from industrial smokestacks comes back down in the form of acid rain, ruining the trees and killing off wildlife.
Nature knows best. Human beings are poor judges of the effects of their actions on the environment.
There's no such thing as a free lunch. Any interaction with nature, any extraction, use, or disruption carries with it some costs. Costs that cannot be avoided, only delayed.
And finally, everything must go somewhere. This 4th law brings us to the topic of today's show, recycling and waste management. Today we're lucky enough to have with us renowned scientist Dr. David Suzuki on Turn Up the Silence. David, I'm coordinator here of the recycling program at the university, and I'm often frustrated with the level of participation that I find among the students. What would you say?
Gee, I'm surprised at that because I find that students are among the most sensitive people in terms of understanding the environmental problem. So I would have hoped that your students would be active participants, and to the extent that they're not, that disappoints me a great deal. I think recycling is, it's something that everybody can do, and it takes almost no change in the way that we live. People talk about the 3 R's, reduce, reuse, recycle. Recycle is the easiest, and I must say the least important of the 3 R's. Recycling is just beginning to make a commitment that, yes, I care, I understand the environment's in trouble, and I'm going to do my bit. By far the most important thing we can do is to reduce our consumption. And of course, second to that is reuse things over and over again, and finally, recycle. But if people aren't even willing to recycle, that is a big disappointment, because the students that are here, they're going to go out and inherit the kind of world that is left to them. If they continue the same pattern that we grown-ups have done, which is to trash the planet, to hell with the planet, they're not going to have much left for them. So I think for their own futures, students have got to begin to recycle like mad. And I congratulate you very much for trying to make it a go.
I was wondering, if you didn't have this reputation that you've built hard for worked hard and built for yourself, what would you do tomorrow to achieve your goals?
Well, the question doesn't make any sense to me. To ask me if I wasn't what I am is like saying, well, if you were a white man tomorrow, what would you behave like? I can't imagine it. I am the product of my own background and all of the experience. So I can't imagine what you even mean by the question.
But I'm interested because you were a scientist, I'm a chemistry student, and you made the move from working full-time as a scientist into the media field. And do you feel you have a greater influence?
To compare an impact of what you do in the lab with what you do on television, I mean, that's apples and oranges. I made a contribution in science that I never dreamed I would when I was a graduate student, and I'm very proud of what I did in research. In going into the media, it was a totally different thing, and I, quite frankly, if you ask me, have you been able, me, David Suzuki, have I been able to change people's opinions, I would say I've done nothing. I haven't achieved anything in terms of the media, because my goal was to help to create a public that understood the issues of science and how their lives are being affected by it and how the environment is changing, and to try to get them to change. And quite frankly, I don't see any evidence of it. Well, so I would say that from the standpoint of public awareness, I've been a total failure. No, let me just add something to that, because it seems a very pessimistic note.
Yes.
I am a father, and I have a commitment to the future through my children. So I have no choice but to do what I can. But what I'm saying to you is I have no conceit to think that I have somehow had an influence.
I understand.
I have no choice, I have to try. But in terms of have I been effective, I don't think so. But it doesn't matter, I have to do it anyway.
Concordia Recycling. There are two main collection systems in place at the university. There's one for paper, and then there's one for mixed recyclables. Now, the mixed recyclable system, we collect cans, other metals, bottles, other glasses, and hard plastics. The mixed recyclable bins can be found near food and vending outlets throughout the university. The recycling bin is rectangular in shape. The other system is paper collection. Now, offices are serviced through house cleaning, but there are also public collection sites for paper. Now, these bins are barrel-shaped blue bins, and they can be found near photocopy machines or at recycling islands if no photocopiers are in that area of the university. These two main systems are in place for the public to use, but the philosophy is not to have a bin on every corner. There may be one mixed recyclable bin per floor or one public paper collection per floor. Recycling only works if you do your part. It's not up to the university to recycle for you. You have to know how to recycle, and the university provides that service so that you can accomplish that end. We also collect cardboard, and this can be done by phoning 848-7351, and we'll arrange a special pickup. The bookstore also offers a incentive program on batteries, where if you return old batteries, they'll give you a 10% discount on new batteries. So, as you can see, there is a system in place, and as all things in life, it has a lot of problems. And what's going to make it work is if we, as the students, do our part and demand that it work.
Hi, I'm David Suzuki, and you're watching CUTV, Concordia Television.
Welcome back. I thought it might be interesting to take a look at what happens to all the recyclables that we collect here on campus. So let's go take a tour of Rebusolid, where they sort our recyclables into 16 different categories. I think you might find it interesting.
Once the various material arrives at the RSC Center, fiber materials are removed and placed on two ascending conveyor belts, which carry it to the mezzanine level, where the two main sorting conveyor belts are located. Here, between 40 and 50 sorters work beside the two main belts. This type of work could best be compared to an auto assembly line in reverse, where the desired parts are taken off the line as they go by. With between 40 and 50 tons of recyclable waste going by every hour, the material is generally separated into 3 categories and sent to the warehouse as follows. Bin number 1, corrugated cardboard, flat cardboard, brown bags, etc. Bins number 2 to 5, newspaper. And bin number 6, a mixed category where the makeup can be determined according to requirements. At selected moments, the recyclable material is taken out of the 6 compartments, using the mobile sections of the floor to carry the material on a metallic conveyor to a press area for bundling. The bundles are then loaded onto trucks for shipment to the various buyers of recyclable material. While fibrous materials are being sorted on the main mezzanine, some 15 to 20 metric tons of containers are being sorted every hour on a second mezzanine. This second sorting facility was, for the most part, conceived and manufactured in Quebec. At the outset, this recyclable material is dumped onto an exterior conveyor belt before transfer to an interior rising conveyor belt to the second mezzanine facility. At a first step, large objects, contaminants, and materials which should be handled elsewhere are removed. Polyethylene bags and other plastic films are detected and taken off the conveyor belt using a suction device which drops this material onto a diagonal conveyor belt which carries it to storage. In phase 3 of the operation, a powerful overhead magnet removes ferrous materials from the conveyor for deposit elsewhere. At this point, all that remains are light plastic and aluminum containers and heavy containers. Because they are not very numerous, the aluminum containers are removed by hand. The main conveyor belt then passes under another powerful device, which sucks up the plastic containers and drops them on a diagonal conveyor belt, which delivers them to large rotating sorting drums. The heavy glass containers continue along the main conveyor belt. In the sorting drums, the plastics are divided into 3 main categories or families and sent to appropriate bins. On its return trip, the main conveyor, which now contains only glass, divides the containers into 2 categories. There are clear glass and all other types of glass. The conveyor then brings this material to a sifting conveyor, which is divided and equipped with a sieve in the center. This eliminates parts which are too small for sorting. This waste material can be recycled into lower quality glass, filler material, and even into asphalt. At the end of the line, the glass bins are brought to the appropriate storage facility, using 2 secondary conveyor belts. With more than 100 employees, a fleet of some 40 specialized trucks and close to 200 pickup points, RSC has established itself as Canada's leading environmental recovery company in Quebec. As an ecological solution, all of the material you have seen recovered will be heading back into the reuse chain of recycling manufacturers and will probably show up in the consumer chain in various forms, oftentimes similar to those of their original products. When you consider that every ton of recovered paper and cardboard reduces the requirement to cut between 17 and 20 mature trees, RSC's contribution to the environment has already surpassed 1 million trees. There's every reason to believe that this quantity of trees saved will double and perhaps even triple on an annual basis. There's no reason to slow down now.
Now it's time for our video segment. In this feature, we take a video and we alter their message just a little bit. This week we'll be taking I, Mother Earth and Rain Will Fall and see how they would recycle.
Trees,
If you have any comments about today's show, feel free to call at 848-7585.
Or 848-7351.
And remember, get involved
And
help turn up the silence.
Hi, I'm Malcolm for CUTV. Today we're going to ask Daniel what he feels of the MUC. Hi, I'm Malcolm for CUTV. Today I'm going to ask Daniel how he feels about the MUC City Council spying on people with the hidden camera that are jimmying the parking meters in Montreal. Daniel?
Thanks. I think it's an invasion of our privacy as citizens, and we pay our taxes here not to have these people put these cameras in on spying on us. You know, if we want to park our cars and they've got these meters, it's ridiculous.
Okay, so you feel that City Council money could be better spent instead of spying on people?
I hadn't thought of that exactly, but that's a good point. I mean, we can spend our money on other things other than these ridiculous little money-grabbing little agendas that they've got. I don't know.
Okay, by the way, Daniel, who are you voting for in the election?
Who am I voting for in the election?
Yeah.
Well, I think I'll keep that to myself.
Okay, thanks, Daniel.
Okay, bro.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Malcolm for CUTV, and what we're doing is we're asking people what they think of the MUC crackdown on parking meters, and by that I mean the fact that they're using hidden camera to find people that are violating the parking meters. I'm talking with Drew today. Drew, what's your perspective?
Well, as far as hidden cameras are concerned, I think that's kind of going a little bit overboard. As far as the parking in Montreal, I still think from friends and visitors to Montreal, I think that they should maybe make the signs about parking and where to park and not to park, and as far as parking meters are concerned, a little bit more clear.
Okay.
But, I think that's sort of killing a fly with a
sledgehammer.
A sledgehammer, yeah.
Okay. So you think it's a little bit, they've gone overboard, they've violated our trust in City Council?
Yeah, I think there's a lot more other areas where they could be doing this espionage, FPI, other than parking meters in Montreal. I don't know how serious the rate of parking meter fraud is concerned.
Okay, thanks a lot, Drew. So there you have it. Drew's against the Big Brother effect of the MUC City Council. How's that? Hi, I'm Malcolm for Eye on Montreal. Today we're talking with
Liz, Jen, and Audrey.
Okay, we're asking them what they think of Montreal's international reputation as being known as Sex City.
Well, I think it's pretty degrading because it's a good city, and I don't think that people should come here and see what they really think instead of just thinking of it as Sex City. It's stupid.
Okay.
It's Jen.
I'm sorry, Jen.
It's okay. It's a stereotype. I mean, I'm used to it since I was a kid, and it doesn't make me grow up fast or mature more rapidly. It's just, I think it's a stereotype. It's not true. Every city has it.
Yeah, every city has them.
Yeah.
Stereotype. Okay, now I'm going to Audrey. I got that right.
Right. Well, I think it's pretty sad because downtown is mainly where all the tourists come in, and to see pictures of is not quite it's it's not white. I want our tourists to come and say, oh look, Montreal is full of pictures of yaka.
Okay, but isn't it a good thing though? Don't you feel that it's boosting tourism? I mean, people are coming here specifically for that reason.
Well, if they want to come for that reason, that's up to them.
Yeah, if they're a bunch of pornographic freaks, then they can come, but that's, not exactly
why they're coming. I don't want them to come. So.
Okay, well, there you have it. This city is inviting freakism. Okay, thanks, girls.
Thanks
a lot.
Thank you very much.
Excuse me, folks. You mind giving an opinion on CUTV? 2-minute opinion. Catherine, Dominic, and Sandri. Is that right? Okay. Hi, I'm Malcolm for CU. Okay. Okay. How's that?
It's recording.
That's better. Closer together. You guys get closer together.
Okay.
Yeah, it's live.
Oh boy.
It's okay. Well, no, we edited it though. Okay. Catherine, Dominic, and Sandri, right?
She doesn't know very good English.
Okay, that's fine. You can all answer.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, I'm Malcolm for ION Montreal. Today we're talking with Catherine, Dominic, and Sandri. We're going to find out how they feel about the MUC police. Let's try this again.
Police
Montreal. No.
Municipal.
Montreal Urban Community.
Okay.
We're going to speak about Montreal.
Yeah. Okay. Hi, I'm Malcolm for ION Montreal. Today we're talking with Catherine, Dominic, and Sandri. We want to find out how they feel about the MUC spying on people with a hidden camera that are violating the parking meters.
I found Montreal is very a very exciting town, very big and very beautiful.
Okay, how do you feel about the city using a hidden camera to spy on people that are violating the parking meters?
I didn't understand. I'm sorry.
Okay, the parking meters, people are using dummy quarters. Okay. Okay, that's good. Okay, thank you.